What does that mean? Like turned at like can we just move on to a different conversation now that this is being
Yeah, you're the
recorded?
one that tried not
I am
to
not
move
even
on.
I
You're
will I
such
will
an
I will
idiot.
flame both of you.
Saboteur.
I
Yeah,
will
exactly,
I
Rylan.
I will I we're just going to do a cold reset and you guys are going to be nice and I'm going to change my camera cuz I don't like it. There. Okay. Everybody feel better about that? Sorry about the noise.
Looks
I'm
great.
looking at oh, hey, the room just tried to kick me out. That's fun.
Hey, did you guys like that fake spring we had?
I
That
did
wasn't
very
fake
much.
spring. We're getting third fake winter is what's happening. That was real spring.
Oh, that was this is third fake winter. Okay, that actually.
I literally got flowers blooming over here. We can't call it fake spring when I got flowers
Oh yeah.
popping up out of the ground.
No, we're gonna get a freeze and every one of them's gonna die. All the flowers, like hell yeah, dude, time to roll. Let's do this. Popping out of the ground, and then yeah, we'll be in the 20s some point next week or something.
I'm making a disagreement with you, sir.
Not sure if you're allowed to do that.
Specify what you mean with your words.
Specify what you mean, Rylan. I have not done the challenge that you issued to us yet because I was in Galveston, but I'm gonna do it.
I'm gonna give it to everybody right off the top. Two things that right off the top. Number one, Human Dad's food tour inaugural stop, March 7th. Where, guys?
I don't know. Why are you asking me?
No, y'all said it. I just don't want to get it wrong. Did we say good friend? Did we say good friend?
Yeah, what did we say?
Did we?
Did we say March 7th?
This is why. Come on. I threw it. This should have been the easiest conversation ever. We did, right?
We didn't pick a time. Did. We certainly didn't pick a time.
I know we didn't pick a time. I was getting to that point. You know.
Okay. Sorry, my bad.
Jesus Christ. Let me guess, Brad. Molly makes all the plans. Let me guess.
This kid.
Have you ever made a plan?
You know that. You know
go
that.
From your mom's house to your wife's house, never made a plan.
You know that. You know that I make plans just fine. You know that. But we didn't have a time, so I was like, why is he doing this?
Because it's 2 weeks.
Okay, March 7th, time Thibodeau.
March 7th, time Thibodeau. Good Friend Beer Garden, Dallas, Texas.
Oh, Rylan does it, and he doesn't get a sigh or a look.
It's because he's not a. You're the Antoine Walker of weird language.
He gets a lot of shots up.
Hey, sir.
Yeah, just cut. You're such a volume shooter.
It's fun when he gets hot and has a little shimmy at the end, though. Come on, Jase. You know.
Every once in a while, it'll be fun to watch him on the court.
Every
But
once
otherwise,
in a while, for a guy who scored 50 like 5 times in his career, every once in a while.
Yep. All right. So Saturday, March 7th, Good Friend Beer Garden. Me, Jase, and Brad are going to be there. I don't care if anybody else comes, but we're going to be there.
It would be cool if 2 of you showed up.
Yeah.
Outside of that,
the over/under is 1.5, right? And that's fine.
Yeah. Outside of that,
I haven't seen you guys other than seeing Brad once this fall. I haven't seen you guys in a while. Number 2.
Me and Jay see each other all the time.
Well, y'all live close to each other.
Yeah.
Pluribus,
got kids in this game
episode 5.
system. Okay.
I need every Human Dad's listener to go to your Apple TV. If you have it, go to Pluribus. I don't care if you watch it. If you do, great, because the context is way better. But I need you to go to episode 5 and watch what happens at the 24-minute mark of episode 5. That's all I got.
Can I ask you a question? If I go just directly there, is it going to ruin the show for me? Because I actually do want to watch that season of that show because I don't think it's coming back on Apple, at least, right? Like it's going to have to get picked up somewhere else and brought to us by.
Oh, it's gotta get picked. It'll get picked up for sure.
I don't know the status of it at all.
I think Apple said they're not coming back.
No way.
Yeah,
that's a Vince Gilligan thing.
Yeah, look at it. Look it up, Jase. Search it up on the internet, as the kids say.
But it will hit. It will hit so much better if you just watch it.
Says Pluribus season 2 is confirmed for development on Apple TV, but faces delay with a release likely in 27 or 28.
Jase, you're supposed to be administrating the comments. Could you tell us who said hello or what's there? Or is it a comment that says we need to quit? What's going on, please? I just want to make sure and acknowledge the one human who stopped in. I don't even know if they're there anymore.
I think that's Fourth Dad. Looks like that's Fourth Dad.
Oh Why does Fourth Dad have 19 different alias? Why can't he just figure it all damn out? Huh?
I think I don't.
Answer me goddamn now.
I like Pluribus, man. I thought that was a really good show. I went through this phase with TV watching where I had a hard time finishing off shows.
That's what you said.
What? What does she say?
She had a hard time finishing TV shows.
Sounds like a you problem. Well, because you know why I paused there? I'll be honest with you. Because I knew what was coming from this guy. Because anytime post 9 a.m. on a Sunday,
when have you ever?
It's taxi cab confessions on human dads. We just can't.
When have you ever had a point guard be like, hey, I threw the ball at the hoop because the motherfucker called for the oop and then he dunked it, and now I'm going to act all upset with him? When has that ever happened? Offense called a play. Offense ran the play. Now we're supposed to high five on our way back down to the other side to play defense. And then instead I got you being like, why'd you dunk it?
But the show was good. And I would have been shocked if somehow that didn't get a second season, because that guy's like TV royalty. If you make Breaking Bad and the other shows that he made that were great, like Better Call Saul, and
if you rewatch Breaking Bad, it's overrated?
Absolutely not. It's, if anything, it's underrated. That is one of the greatest TV shows that's ever been made.
But isn't that just like Jesus died for our sins, and that's what I was told at 3 years old, so Jesus died for our sins? Aren't you just being doctrinated?
Not liking...
I never saw it.
Not liking Breaking Bad.
Jesus Christ. Let me stop the bit, Jason. Hold on real quick.
Yeah, I'm glad you called that a bit.
Let me just
play the intro first.
Let me just zoom out. I'll just talk to him for a second if you're going to
7 minutes in.
Go off camera. We're 4 minutes in. He's never seen Breaking Bad?
Nah.
I wish you could pay attention to the show real quick. Just for 2 seconds. He's never seen Breaking Bad?
I was with you the whole I thought you were talking to him at first, but yes.
No, I'm talking to you about him.
I totally agree. That is egregious. I think there are probably...
Like you never even tried?
Started it a few years ago, but after about 2.5 episodes or so, I don't know.
Weird take from you, bro. I try to be there with you a lot of times, but just weird take from you. You would enjoy it.
I probably would, but like I didn't.
There's no probably about it. If you like Pluribus at all, and they are completely different shows, but
it's not though. He's not against. He's not against prestige television, as they call it now. He sat through Mad Men, and Mad Men is extremely slow and boring to start.
Well, and this show's not even slow.
It's not that it was slow. That's the thing. Like, it's not that it was slow.
You don't like white people?
Oh,
I mean, that's a different topic for a different day. I just didn't. It didn't reach out and grab me. I didn't.
Human dads.
Why does he do you dirty like that, Rylan?
I don't know. Ask me a question and start the intro.
He said start the intro.
You're such a dick, dude.
Yeah, 2 minutes ago.
He said start the intro.
You are such a child.
He said start the intro. And then I realized we're at 6 minutes now.
I hate you sometimes. And
because he said 7 minutes. We weren't. You're ruining the intro.
Tell your mom. 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 Tell your mom to listen. Tell your mom to listen. Tell your mom to listen. Tell your mom to listen.
Get up off your ass for the Human Dads podcast.
The live clock in the top of the thing says 9 minutes 57 seconds.
Human
I can't
dad's
hear you.
Human dad's
Mine says 10:07.
Mine says 10:04.
How? That's weird.
Mine says 6:57.
The hell?
I don't understand.
Software.
I don't get it, guys.
Computer.
I don't understand. Rye, if you'd like to explain your Breaking Bad.
No, I don't want to belabor TV talk from 10 years ago, but we watched a couple and a half episodes or so, and I just wasn't. I think there was so much said and talked about around the show that I found it hard these number of years later
That's what she said.
to get into it.
Attaboy. High fives.
There's-
Back down the court.
There's like some music just randomly playing out here.
No way. There's a backyard
right,
distraction.
right in the wiener, right there. That was a full on.
Rylan, please come back. Could you just...
It was weird. It wasn't just somebody playing
Dude.
music. It was it sounded like carnival noise or something. I was totally distracting. I couldn't think.
I am going to put together the supercut of Rylan just reacting to noise in his backyard that is just commonplace,
That
regular
was not-
North
that
American
was not
backyard
commonplace.
sounds, and him just
Sir.
acting pissed off and incredulous that there's a
No.
dog barking or a bird getting humped. Like,
If you do that, will you also include the supercut of you doing the same thing, except with stuff that happens on video or that no one else notices, but you making sure that you call it out? So the whole audience has to deal with listening to you complain about it. One of those things. Why don't you do one of them too?
name an example.
Put that super. Well, a good example is when I look at my phone to help the show, and you call out that or when I go on mute to eat a bite of a nice, tasty breakfast sandwich. No one knows what's happening, and you called it out way before video was ever recorded. By the way,
So those things. Oh, we got video for every single episode. I'll start releasing the tapes right now. I will. There is a P tape for every episode of this thing. Right now, I'll damn do
Even the
it.
one where I wore my Winnie the Pooh outfit.
oh yeah,
The day the garage door was going up and down.
yeah. Do you have a video of
The
that?
Winnie the Pool outfits were all the pool episodes, which I believe is 3. And yeah, we got video.
Wait a minute. Why would I wear a shirt and no bottom in the pool?
That's what we said.
It was weird. Yeah.
That's what we said.
Has any guy ever done that?
Oh, for sure.
Why would you?
Why?
You just want the ween in the water. I don't know. You don't want a
sun.
sunburn.
Oh. What if you're like an out of shape guy, but you got a big old hog, and you're like,
Okay.
I don't want someone seeing the upper part, but I don't mind people seeing the bottom part. You know what I'm saying?
That's not something I can relate to. So no, I don't know what you're saying.
Oh no.
No, just to put a bow on the Breaking Bad conversation, it was too far down the road. It had been so universally talked about for like 10 years or however long it was on. It wasn't appealing to me to try to get into the show's aesthetic and really enjoy it when I felt like I'd just been hearing about it every day,
Okay.
all the time. It was no longer interesting to me. I'm sure it's a fantastic show, but I'd already heard too much about it. Whereas when we picked up Mad Men, maybe a year or so after it went off the air, we picked it up. People weren't really, it got talked about. I knew like what it was conceptually, but like I didn't hear about it all the time. With Breaking Bad and Thrones, there was just no way I was going to watch it because it became people's personality for a few years, and I just heard too much. So it wasn't interesting.
Okay. I can relate. Okay, to everything you want to say or you just said. So let me give you some grace, and I will hope that you reciprocate. I don't know why I went to say it. I wasn't trying to weird talk. Reciprocate. Okay. Everything you just said, Rylan. Okay. That's how I feel about the Beatles.
Okay, that's stupid.
Music and
Now-
music's totally not the same thing.
But
Of course, no grace afforded.
everything you
Totally
said,
not the same thing.
everything you said about Breaking Bad, I feel the same way about The Wire.
Oh, fine. You guys can say it about Breaking Bad and The Wire, and I can't say it about the Beatles.
How many people do you know, Brad, that listen to a piece of music once or maybe twice? And if they listen to it more than once, it's like, whoa, you re-listened? You re-listened to that
Yeah, but
song,
it's
bro. It
the
must be the
same
best
thing,
song
like,
anyone's ever recorded.
It already
It's not-
occurred. It already occurred. That it's already a people's identity. It's already an aesthetic on its own from its own time and everything. And I had heard so much about it before I ever really wanted to delve into it that, yes, I know a lot of the songs that we all know from just being around with ears, but I never went back and really got into the whole catalog and figured out who the Beatles were because
Yeah, but good music transcends eras and time. Like watching The Wire was hard for me because
because they're wearing throwback jerseys.
They got pagers and you know the cops are using beep.
How do you hear what you're saying and not also hear what I'm saying? How's that possible?
The Beatles music, like someone could make a Beatles song today and it would fit into like today's genre of music pretty easily.
Somebody could
You're
come
right,
out with
Jason, but I want to
Breaking
tell
Bad.
you that I am the only white guy our age that likes hip hop that feels the same way. There's a whole race of these white hip hop fans that they just shit on the Beatles because they think they're supposed to.
I know.
To be
they're the
clear,
greatest band to walk the earth ever. Period. Buenos noches, and you know they're one of my favorites, but like they're not my personality.
Hold on. To be clear, I don't think you're shitting on Breaking Bad right now. Would you?
No,
agree?
not at all. I'm sure it's I'm sure it's fantastic.
Okay, I'm not shitting on the Beatles. To be clear, I'm not saying they're overrated. I'm not saying I have a take. I'm saying I never got into them. I never explored anything other than what kind of lives in the pop culture.
You never did a deep dive.
I never went and listened to an album from beginning to end. I never went and said,
well, that's foolishness. I at least tried to listen to Steely Dan Asia after everybody.
I guarantee you, I've heard Steely Dan Asia more times.
And I was like, when is this fucking solo going to end?
It is. But I also like it
and
at
I
this
love
point
that
in my
kind of
life.
music, but I was like, it's not, but I tried.
Yeah.
You can't, okay. When you approach music, do you approach it as a novel experience? Like you're never going to go back and revisit it again? Because that's what we do with movies, books, and TV shows is we don't really intake them and then make them a part of our habit. We consume them once, and like I said, maybe twice, and then you have your Star Wars people or your whatever, or me when I was 7 with Karate
that's
Kid.
where I would disagree because, and I think Star Wars is a good example there. I've seen all of the Star Wars probably 3 or 4 times. When Phantom Menace first came out, when we were young lads, I went and saw it like 7 times in the theater. I've watched The Wire 4 times through. I've probably watched Mad Men 3 times through.
Right.
I've watched The Office 9 times through. I've watched Friends 9 times through.
Here's the thing.
Parks and Rec.
You don't have to name everything that you've watched 9 times through, but
but we're learning a lot about Brad. Like
I've watched Martin reruns 1,000 times back in the day when they would be
clearly when it comes to media consumption, you are clearly on the spectrum.
Yeah. Here's what I would say.
Watching. I thought I was I don't know. I think I'm an average repeat watcher, but that's.
I've seen every episode of Everybody Loves Raymond probably 3 times.
But to make Ryland's point even more, I mean, take this back to, ancient times, cavemen. Like, if you hear a story one time, the next time you hear it, it doesn't have the same impact on your brain, right? Like, you know the ending, you know the story, your brain just doesn't enjoy it quite the same way. That's just a fact. Music is different. Like, music has the same, fires off the same feelings in your brain every time you hear the song. In fact, if anything, the feelings get stronger the more that you listen to it, because the first time you hear it, you're like, all right, that's pretty good. And then you hear it again, you're like, oh yeah, I'm into it. So there is definitely some sort of neurological chemical thing when it comes to the difference between movies, books, and TV shows versus music.
Maybe with you guys, what we're learning is we're just all different, because the idea that you could not get something different by watching a show twice is sounds a little insane to me.
Oh no, of course you can. And my second watch of Mad Men was awesome because of that. What I do think is that's way less frequent for TV movies and books, whereas with music, it's kind of baked into how everybody consumes it, or almost everybody. You can go find a ton of people. I bet a plurality of people never rewatched anything or rewatched maybe one or two things in their lives. You can't find somebody who's like, yeah, I don't really listen to music other than the first time I hear it. That doesn't exist.
I'm not saying that does exist wholly, but what I'm saying is that the rewatch value for me, it sounds like indexes a lot higher with media that isn't music than it does with you guys. Whereas, yes, I could still listen to the same song for 100 times. I also wonder, though, too, when you guys get a song that you really like, are you want to listen to it maybe back to back 27 times?
Not since I was probably 12 or 13.
Okay, I'll still do that.
Well, if you put the Batman soundtrack on, then I probably.
I'm not talking about a whole concept. I'm talking about one song.
One song. It's about 1 4.5 minute thing. So here's another way to look at this: is you're saying that you never went into the Beatles because everything you heard made it feel like you weren't going to gain anything from doing a deep dive, which is 100%. I 1,000% get that. It's overload them and a dozen other acts over the years.
Yeah, because we could
so
pick
much.
probably 10 groups and put them in this.
There's a group of So
I'm not shitting on them. I'm just saying I never went and dove into it.
For me, and that's cool. I agree. I'm sure there's somebody out there that I feel the same way about if I thought about it, music wise. But the idea that I would never go listen to an album because I'd heard too much about them is crazy to me. To me, that's the reason too. So what's this really about? Whereas with a TV, movie, book type thing, every interaction with it is a deep dive because you want to get you're into the narrative, except maybe sitcoms, right? But that's like, okay, I think let's everybody's been Mad Men's supposed to be good. Let's start it. And we did, right? So you're in that. I like when I watch a show like Prestige. The coolest thing to me about Prestige TV, or whatever we're calling it now, because I've been told it's over, is getting into the aesthetic of the show as a whole, right? And really being locked into what they're doing on the show. And it's just less appealing if I've heard too much about it already, unless it just really reaches out and grabs me. And I'm sure Breaking Bad would be badass. Those first 2 or 3 episodes, I was like, okay, science, bitches. It's like, I guess maybe the ticket ruined it for me. Maybe there was too many drops.
That's the thing.
I don't know.
That's the thing, is something like that was such a cultural flashpoint or touchstone or whatever the word is. It's hard for you to go into just watch it now and make it yours because it already exists in this other space. You know what I mean? It certainly doesn't feel like discovery. It just at this point, were you to watch Breaking Bad, you're just going to get like people's inside jokes or the kind of nascent startings of like memes. You're just, I get where that's coming from now. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah. I think that takes some of the fun out of it. And even though Mad Men was talked about heavily all over the place, for whatever reason, it wasn't the same as Breaking Bad and Game of Thrones. And there's probably a couple others that I've avoided because of that, even though I'm sure they're good TV. And back to what got us on this, which is Pluribus. I saw a few people chattering about it a couple months ago on Twitter, and thought, well, I don't know what that is, and we just decided to try it out last week or week before, whenever we started it. So that's how I would prefer to do it. It is. I don't know how good it is yet, but I'm looking forward to the second season if and when it comes along.
We'll wrap it on this and then maybe do an intro. out of all the things that I've done on this show to maybe garner some negative reaction and or attention, okay, from that person that I live with, Jase,
Mm-hmm.
what I've just said on these airwaves is likely to get the fastest "you're so stupid" text message. You're such an idiot text message from my Beatles opinions that I just expressed when she
Yeah,
listens
isn't
to
she?
this.
She's a Beatles fan, right?
Tremendous.
Yeah, I thought so.
Yeah.
It's a
Yeah.
lot like your hey guys, I don't like Jerry Jones. Like
Beatles never did anything to me personally.
that is also true.
Jerry Jones personally told me one year they drafted a special teams draft.
I was there for that. He told me the same
Okay.
thing. Yeah. Yeah.
You remember
Told me
that?
the same thing.
We got
I
it
think
all.
that was the Isaiah Standback draft.
We got it
Am I
all
remembering that
figured
correctly?
out. We're just going to draft for special teams.
We're just, remember that one year Woody Dantzler had that one little sideline single foot hop
Oh
kick
my
return?
God. Do I remember?
We're just going to try to capture life in that lightning in a bottle.
It was the peak of the season, him tiptoeing down that sideline on one
It was
foot
It
somehow.
was the best thing that happened that whole year.
The year-end recap includes that moment like 6 different times. You know what I'm saying? Jase, we're halfway through this bad boy because I know you only got 44 minutes is what you tell them all the time.
Yeah, dude, more than 44 minutes and you're not getting much out of me.
Yeah, that's what she says. I don't know. Boy, if she said it's 44 minutes, I'd just be like, I'm sorry. Chuck, we're
Why
not
would
going on
anyone want
another
that?
date.
Yeah, why would
Sorry, Chuck.
anyone?
This is going to be the only one.
Yeah.
How are you, bud? You doing okay? You look freshly bearded. Your hair looks full. Haven't seen a barber or a hairdresser in quite some time, it looks like.
Yeah.
Just short of slovenly, really. But you look
Oh,
good.
yeah. Full on slovenly. Yeah, I've lost the passion for getting a haircut. I just don't enjoy it. It's a beating more than anything. Like the feeling of being post haircut is whatever. But so yeah, I'm just plus when you lose you're losing your hairline. When your hairline starts going, it doesn't hurt to have a little extra up in the front just to provide a little cover for what's happening. But yeah, man, I'm doing fine.
You sound it, bud. You sound it.
I'm trying to get motivated for what's going to be a very busy March for me. I've got a lot of travel going on. I'm going to go to the Arizona to see the Rangers in the spring training here shortly. And then I've got a spring break coming up. And, a lot of the travel this year for me is going to be road trip. And I'm trying to decide if I like the road trip still as I get older, because I used to love the road trip. The road trip was number one option for me over plane travel. And now I think that I'm slowly moving away from it a little bit because it's just not.
Break it down, though. Road trip family or road trip buddies?
Well, both will be happening this March. I'll have a road trip, spring break trip.
Okay, but it depends though. Road trip and I'm driving, or I get to sit in the front seat.
I'm in my friend group and in my family. I am number one driver.
Yeah, because I don't think I could sit in a back seat for the length of a road trip.
You have to be driving.
I genuinely, I think I might get semi-sick if we're like talking 3 hours in the back of a car.
Yeah, that's why I prefer to be driving is one.
And I hate that about myself. What the fuck?
Yeah. But then I become passenger like during a break and I get impatient and I don't enjoy that part either.
Oh my God. We got to drive 30 minutes or somebody else is driving.
Yeah.
Might as well
pull over.
Stab me in like just the backside of my leg. It's just a
yeah, right in the beehole. you know?
Not part
So-
of your leg or my leg or Ryland's leg. Why do you always got to make it weird and go for the anus?
No, okay, first of all, the beehole is technically the top of the leg.
I'm not doing with this.
Ryland?
With you move. Oh my God.
See?
I swear to God, if you not Jesus,
He's
I hate both of you so much.
You
I don't want
think you
any
can-
shit. I
I don't
hate
think
both
you
of
can
you
just
so much.
disprove that. I don't think scientifically you can prove Jason wrong.
No, I mean, you can tell it connected with him because it's when you think about it,
You
very
go above
tip
it,
top.
you're in the hip area. If you
North-
go above it, you're more in the hip area,
Yeah.
the pelvic area. You go below it,
The-
you're in the leg area.
Yep, north pole of the leg is the beehole. That's for
Fucking
you
genius.
can't
I
argue.
can't-
you can't argue with it. It's just it is what it is. Where was I?
won't argue with it, is what I'll say. I won't argue.
Why you think all of a sudden the aversion to air travel, Jase? Just beating
No, road trip.
No.
Road trip.
airport
He's-
beating. No, he said aversion to air travel.
I used to have one. I used to like the road trip because I just
Oh,
like
sorry, I got it back.
I like the control, Ryland, really more than anything. I like being able to. First of all, I like having my own car, but second, I like to be able to, like, if I decide I want to change course in the middle of the trip or do something different or like take a break or go longer, I get to control that. Whereas with air travel, I'm at the mercy of the airlines and the customer service reps at these companies, which I hate. So I used to hate that part of it, but now I'm like, man, the saving of my, I'll tell you, the true reason is the body. The body,
El
the
cuerpo.
body after a road trip. What?
I said el cuerpo.
The body after a road trip
Body in
suffers.
Spanish. Sorry. Jesus.
Suffers greatly. A lot of
Not doing a
stiffness,
Bad
backs,
Bunny halftime show. Calm down.
back situation. Shoulders are tight, like the whole night. I need like a day to recover from a 13, 14-hour road trip.
Jesus Christ. A day.
I did
Probably
a couple
two.
of. I did
Maybe.
some pretty substantial road trips when I was in my 20s, but not really since then. I mean, Courtney and I went to Santa Fe a few years ago. That's the furthest I've driven in the last handful of years. But the way I saw for that, when we fly, if we fly anywhere that doesn't have like really good public transportation, we just bite the bullet and rent a car.
Yeah.
That's best of both
100%.
worlds. But I don't
100%.
travel that often, so I'm okay with spending a little extra for that. But I do appreciate the wanting to have the car to be able to do whatever. So
Yeah.
unless
For all
I've
my
gone, the only
dads-
times I haven't rented a car has been like New York, Boston, Chicago. Everywhere else I've gone in the last
I would
15 years, I've rented a car.
100% will not rent in a big city like that because the driving is more stressful than just hopping in.
Well,
an
you
Uber,
have
but
I'd much rather have public transportation if it's
yeah.
set up right.
But for all my dads out there, if you have a road trip coming up for spring break, I know that you don't want to do this. It's kind of like that moment where you decide you need a minivan because you have a bunch of kids. But if you want to recover quickly after a road trip, go to Amazon and get you some compression socks, my guys. Because you wear compression socks on a long road trip, you'll get out, you will feel fresh as a daisy. Your legs will feel great. The blood will be flowing. I'm telling you guys.
The calf is the heart of the lower body.
It's the heart of the lower body, Brad. So if you keep the blood pumping in the calves, you get out. I'm dead serious.
All right.
You wear compression socks, it'll change your life on a road trip.
Here's what I will give you. Okay. I think that is sound advice. Okay. I'm not here to negate the science of it or any improvement that would be had. What I'm telling you is I am not going to accept that I am at that age right now. Okay.
That's fair.
It feels
I don't.
like, and it might be reasonable and it might be sensible and logical and rational and all of the things that are generally viewed as positive, but it feels like a retreat that I will not be going back to at this point in time.
That's the difference between you and me, man, is that I've already given up. Full on given up, boys. So I'll take compression socks. I'm going to take my blood pressure medicine.
That
If I need some cholesterol meds, I'll get on those too.
See, Jase, I think this is your superpower, Jase, because you had to relent. You had to swallow your pride because of rough timing and circumstances with your back. You had to have a scooter at Disney World.
I had a scooter at Disney World. Riley, you never go farther than the scooter. You never go farther than that.
Point, so now it's like anything you feel like doing that you think's gonna help make you feel better.
Done.
Hey, it could be a scooter at Disney World.
Can
Pride
I
out the window.
Pride out the window.
This? If I had to drive 8 hours right now consecutively, I think I would deeply consider wearing a back brace. Which I know sounds insane, but something's going to have to keep my back straight and supported.
I'm telling
by
you,
about
man.
hour 3.
I'm telling you, dude.
Yeah. Rye,
What's up?
what's up with you?
Incredibly productive Saturday. Dad's Saturday yesterday. Just doing stuff, man. Just doing stuff, getting things done. And I got some baby Jessica content for y'all. Y'all want some baby Jessica content?
Yeah.
Sure do.
On the podcast?
Sorry, I had to pull my notes up. Y'all remember when they had a fight on Geraldo and Geraldo got a chair thrown at his face?
Yeah, that was great, dude. Broke his nose.
And he broke his nose.
Mm.
And that was, let's just pick a year. Let's say that was 1988. Close enough, right?
Sure.
Mm-hmm.
Any time in your life before that or since, have you ever seen a person wear that exact nose brace bandage?
I don't think I have. No.
That was a bespoke, made for TV.
Oh, that's what I was about to say.
Obviously, he broke his nose. Obviously,
no, but it was a prop.
You saw it happen. But that bandage, he had the real bandage, and then he had a prop over the top.
Yeah, yeah. Because we've seen multiple NBA players do the whole broken nose thing and then wear the mask type situation for what feels like the rest of the season after that. I think it takes forever to recover from a broken nose. But like you're right. We've never seen that. What do you want to call it? Ornate?
It had like extra tape on the sides across like his cheeks a little bit. There was way more nose brace there than what actually needed to happen. And I would love if there's any medical professionals within the earshot of this podcast to come back to us and let us know if we're off base on this. But I feel like Geraldo did that because he's Geraldo. We saw a documentary about the talk show era a couple weeks ago. Just one of these little CNN produced things that pops up on like Hulu or whatever. And it's like 4 episodes. And when we got to that part, that was my immediate first thought. I literally had to stop down and turn to Courtney and say, wait, never seen that nose brace out in the wild or nose bandage out in the wild ever.
Was there ever like a conspiracy that was done to like cover a nose job or something?
Dude, he got hit straight in the nose with that chair, bro.
It's on video.
Yeah, it is. It gets smashed.
The clipped and to see.
I
just remember it as like something you saw from when we were 9.
Right. I saw the nose bandage, then retroactively saw I wasn't watching Geraldo live as it happened.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
3rd grade or whatever it was. Yeah. So I would say, I forget the name of the little documentary we found, but go look for it. It's got a lot of great stuff. My other baby Jessica note for today. Do you guys remember Nintendo Power, the magazine?
Hell yeah, dude. I had a subscription multiple times.
Yeah.
Not really.
See, Brad's coming in here with his, I'm a Sega guy, I'm a Sean Kemp.
No, Nintendo everything. Everything. I always thought,
okay.
Can I say this? I always thought if you had Sega, that was like a sign of like your 2-story rich house.
It's a rich kid system.
That's
might be up there with magazine subscriptions. That was never going to be something that like.
Oh, dude, Beckett.
We
Nintendo
did have Beckett.
Power. Yeah,
we had Beckett because my dad and I did baseball cards together. So of course we had the Beckett subscription. I
Yep.
couldn't get any buy-in on the Nintendo Power subscription, but I'd have it off and on. I guess I had it sometimes, and my buddies had it. But the reason I brought it up, the Sega Nintendo divide, we can get into that culturally because where I grew up, it was more like Sega. The Genesis guys were more the rough around the edges guys.
Oh,
This was-
really?
No,
this was
dude,
this was the prime Street Fighter era, and I hated the Street Fighter style games because it was just button pushing to me. I know a lot of people probably really enjoyed it and got really good at it, but I just thought I could turn my back to the TV and push buttons and be almost as good as the guys looking at the TV. So
my
it was
two
stupid.
buddies that had Sega Genesis were only kids, and they also had the designated dining room set up in their homes. So like I going over there to like spend the night felt like a different situation than what I grew up in. And I'm not saying I grew up in a fine regular 4-2 suburban house, like it was a General Homes 1989 build is where I grew up basically. And like we've lived a fine existence, but then it felt different if you had the some of the things we've talked about before, like if you lived in a 2-story house, or if you had where you walk into the house, you look to the left, that's a dining room with its own table, but then you also had like the little circle table in the kitchen, or you go over and somebody's got like 19 different snacks in the cupboard, not just like the 2 that you typically have in your house. Or like anytime somebody had like the kid drink specifics, like the little Gatorades or like multiple juice boxes, I'd just be like, what's going on in this house?
In the
Like
garage fridge.
Or
Yeah.
like the garage fridge, which we had a garage fridge, but our garage fridge was made for Coke and beer. Like,
Right, yeah.
And maybe the extra gallon of
And
milk
it
fit
was like
in the
clearly from the late 60s and was super thick and
Yeah.
weighed 700 pounds. Yeah.
like we didn't have Capri Sun in our home, or you did like that was an after game. Like you're saying
Capri Sun was a treat. Yeah, Capri Sun was like a special occasion. I bet, Brad, that the people that you knew that had a Sega Genesis, I bet it was around 1991, and
Yeah.
the people I knew, it was 93 or 4.
Okay.
You see the difference?
Yeah.
Because this is pre-internet. I lived my entire childhood 18 months behind you guys at a
Okay.
minimum.
That makes sense.
So
These were the kids
I
who
bet
clearly
you
had Nikes first too.
early adopters. You had
Yeah.
more adopters than I did. Yeah.
And I just couldn't sit, like, all it takes is 1 or 2 for you to start building a frame of reference at 9 years old. And so I was just like, oh, Sega is like the rich kid thing.
Premium. No, so Nintendo Power was a cool little magazine. You had walkthroughs. This is before YouTube videos showing you where to find all the secret exits. So you had all your walkthroughs and all your game tips and all this kind of stuff. So on the back, they had a phone number that you could call, and it was for anything having to do with the magazine, obviously. But one of the things that they would do when you called them was you could ask them, you could give them a specific game, and they would cross-reference the issues of the magazine that referenced that game. I guess you could back order copies, or maybe you had a stack of them and you wanted to go find the ones you were looking for or whatever. So my buddies and I, when we were probably in 6th or 7th grade, had a thing we would do where we would call them up and we would ask them for information on some random game. And then after that, we would ask them who they thought was going to win the Super Bowl. And we would try to see what everybody, and we would call like 20 times, get different people and just see what they would say and see if we could either get a diversity of opinion on Super Bowl or something, like just anything to pass the time. Right. And of course, most of them said the Cowboys. And if they did, we would be like, hell yeah. So that's my baby Jessica Nintendo Power story. I remember my other core
That's a good
Nintendo
story.
Power memory is I remember reading in great detail the Nintendo Power walkthrough for Mega Man 3 the day the Gulf War started.
Well, there's
Watching CNN or whatever,
Yeah.
what channel we got back then. I don't think we even got CNN back then. Watching the whole Scud missile thing happen live with my Mega Man 3 Nintendo Power walkthrough.
I
Yeah.
don't know how much I knew Nintendo Power existed. The only way I ever heard about cheat codes was somebody came over and did it, and then afterwards I would, work it into my repertoire. But I never once read a walkthrough or like any of that. Never once.
Video game conversations are tremendous Baby Jessica content, because the difference between today and then maybe one of the greatest divides in like advancement that exists. Because to Ryland's point, I have not thought about this until now for many, many years, but I remember playing like games that required like puzzle solving or role playing games with my friends. And if you got stuck, you had to dial up a person who was sitting there in an office somewhere. You called them. You were charged X amount of money per minute to talk to this person. You would go, hey, I'm in dungeon 4 and there's this flame over here and these bats are coming after me and I don't know what to do. Can you tell me what to do next? And the person's like, all right, well, have you checked the closet over there in the left corner? And I'm like, no, I haven't checked it. They're like, go check that closet. You hang up and you go do it. And then the next time you get stuck, you call back. Like that was how you figured stuff out.
Every now and then a news broadcast or like a news magazine type of show would have a little like 7-minute segment on the people that had those jobs. And wouldn't you sit there and just pray to the deity of your choice that could one day be your job?
Oh, amazing.
It sounds so old timey as you guys say it. And two, I'm learning about this for the first time. I never knew this was a possibility. I didn't know you could just phone a friend on this. And then two, I'm just thinking about there's some 25-year-old dude who's going in and clocking in 8 hours a day talking to 10-year-olds through Mega Man 2 or Icarus.
Yeah. And no idea how they knew this stuff now even, but as a kid, I'm like, how does this guy know this? How could he know everything about this entire game like that?
Well, it's software. It's deterministic. The designers of the game knew, so all they had to do was basically go back to the design and documentation of the game, and then play through it. And I'm sure they just had manuals and guides and stuff. No different than flying an F-16, man. Pretty interesting when you think about it. I never actually did that because the idea of picking up the phone and having it cost money, I think I would be dead today if I had done that.
For the record, I went over to a buddy's house, and when that parent got that bill, I was not allowed to go to that buddy's house anymore because I was blamed for that experience.
Do you think that's fair? You guys,
100%. I have always been a manipulator.
Oh my god!
It's like, dude, let's just call him real fast. It's fine. It'll be like $1. They won't even notice. I know. I'm such an ass. And we probably racked up like hundreds of dollars.
Oh my god!
That just doesn't seem like a Jason move. That's incredible.
Yeah, it's having to open a Visa to pay for the phone bill. That's Southward kids never coming over here again.
100%. Yeah. I mean, I was also in on the I'm sorry, FBI, for the record, but the AOL, like, create a credit card number to get the free AOL, CD thing. Like, dude, looking back now, 100%, I probably broke some federal law. Yeah.
Had you're a criminal?
Yeah. Statute of limitations is up on that.
I had the before the AOL free CD era, there was, I guess this would have been 94, there was CompuServe. And, And AOL still existed, or obviously existed then too, but again, it was before they were mailing the CDs to everybody. This is when everybody still had dial-up, and obviously we didn't have internet where I grew up yet. We didn't get it until 96. So in 94, I had got a new computer, and it came with a free, however many month CompuServe subscription, which was like $10 a month or something like that. And I knew deep down that there was no way that they had a local phone number that was not a long distance call from Hamilton. But I, kept that to myself. They had, they had things on their marketing and things in their, whatever you want to call it, that said that they had coverage of, 85% of whatever, which I'm sure they did, but that doesn't mean anything if you're rural. So I just freaking started using it, and my parents knew I was using it. And of course, this was first entree into the internet at all. I think I was coming out of 8th grade. And I, in about a 2.5-week period, it was calling a number in ULIS, and I knew it was a number in ULIS. It was an OG 817 in ULIS. I knew enough about how the system worked, and I just thought we're gonna ride this out and see what happens. Well, a couple weeks into it, my parents got a call from the phone company. That's how much. It was $400 something.
Oh my God.
Yeah. And so that ended that obviously really quick.
And
so
you didn't get killed?
No, luckily I didn't, because I just started my first kind of teenager job.
Oh,
and
you're going to be helping with this on your own.
I think I worked for like 3.5 paychecks at that job before I finally saw a dollar, because I had to fork over and cover that 400 and whatever it was.
That's insane.
Yeah. Good times.
Can I go back to an oldie but a goodie with you guys? Can we talk youth sports?
Oh, everybody
Well,
loves you
does
sports.
the show have dad in the name or not?
Will you indulge me? We had a hell of a youth weekend overall, boys. Started a Friday night with a school dance. You hear me? And we're getting to the age where we're doing the pre-show and going to dinner with friends, and got a nice little group of friends and parents over here that we all kind of get along. So I don't know, probably about 20 of us all went to Mina's over here in Richardson, Jase, over there at Campbell and 75.
Yeah,
Don't know
good
if you've
spot.
been, but it's a nice little Tex-Mex type spot. It was cool, but parents, kids, then we go do and take the pictures, and then we go to the dance. And then, because the dance is generally overrated, okay? Not hating on the people putting together the dance. I'm not hating on the school, but just at this age, and you've got everything from pre-Kers to 12-year-olds, it makes for this weird hodgepodge kind of hot, crowded setting. And then you got a bunch of parents in the arteries of the halls and in the hallways, just kind of being there, because if your kid is going to be there, a parent has to be there. This is not like a drop and go kind of situation. If a kid's there, they got to have a parent. So you got a lot of parents sitting around in hallways just staring at each other. It's hot, it's crowded, it's loud music very close to you. So Molly had the genius idea of saying, hey, maybe next year we'll do like an after party, and that can cut our dance time in the school situation down, and we can just bring back a group to the house.
Smart. I like where this is going.
So we turned out to be after party host, and left, I don't know, an hour and a half after being at the dance. So solid 90 minutes. You hang out, see everybody, and then that group that we went to dinner with, hey, we're going back to the house. It was a beautiful night. Got to light the fire out on the patio in the chimenea. And had some bros around and drink a few beers, put out some snacks and some candy. The ladies got to maj, and it was a nice little night. But I knew we might be keeping just a smidge of a late hour for my little champion. We had a 9:00 tip.
Oh boy. Party before the game.
And
Man.
we need my guy to be right. Okay, we depend on him. So I take you to 9:00 Saturday morning, last game of the regular season, gentlemen. It's a big one. We're working on seeding here. We stepped up into the top division, where they broke it down like you do the NBA, and they put us in one of two divisions, one called the East, one called the West. We're going to take the top 4 from each division, and that's going to be your playoffs, okay? Similar to the way NBA does it, they're going to take the top 8 from each conference. We're going to take the top 4, and they're going to mash against each other into a super playoff. The commissioner's been running these divisions for years, so he thinks he's put together the top 16 teams out of 70 teams. Okay? very competitive. We played in the second division last year. We got bumped up because we were one of the best teams in the second division. And he told me after summer, he said, putting y'all in the top division. We're going to see what happens. We were a little worried because, be honest with you guys, we're of the top division. We're on the smaller side. We got a couple big kids, but it seems like every damn team has 4 kids who are at least the size of our top 2 and always got bigger kids than our top 2 big kids, if that makes sense. And I guarantee you, we're the only team that's playing at this level that has 2 second graders. We're in a 3rd grade league and we got 2 second graders. So we were a little like, hey, how's it going to stack up? And I'm here to tell you, after the win yesterday, we will be by ourselves in second place. The only team better than us went undefeated, and it was that team that had a few holdback kids that we talked about a couple weeks ago. They went undefeated on the year. We lost twice. Team behind us lost 3 times. So we're going to go into the playoffs with some pretty strong seeding after the W yesterday. Shep again hit a big 3. And we're at that age where when the game starts getting to a certain point, I mean, everybody realizes this in sports, but like when the youths are in a game and it's been tightly contested, there's that like breaking point where it goes from being like 2 points to 5 points or 4 points to 6 points. And they're like, bro, we've had a problem scoring 2 points. How the hell are we going to score 6? And it's happened to our team too before. I mean, we don't lose that much, but you could see it in their eyes when the defeat hits. And Shep pulled up for just a ridiculous 3 yesterday, and it took the game from 2 to 5, and you could just see the defeat.
Broke their will.
You could see it set in. They didn't end up scoring it all in the 4th quarter, and we've had enough experience in this type of game now that I know what's coming next. And I can build a profile of a team, and I can typically build a profile of a team connected to where these teams are coming from, Jase. And I'm just tired of it. If we're going to play a team from what you would consider the nicest parts of Dallas,
Yeah.
when we get up and the game is over, guess what's going to happen? We're going to get tantrums, and we're going to get babies, and they're going to start pushing and hitting and blindsiding and fighting for jump balls in a way that is not anything to do with possession anymore and only has to do with taking out my frustration for being on the losing end today. And I just don't get like how it's acceptable at all. I would be incensed as a coach, dude. I would be livid as a coach.
It's so weird, man. I'm with you. I don't understand. I guess I don't understand that life of those kids that live on the other side of the railroad tracks because.
And I'm only saying that because that's the profile. That's mainly where this has come from, right?
Yeah. Oh,
it's
yeah.
Mainly,
it's a thing.
I'm not saying that I'm not saying because you live a regular middle class Richardson suburb school existence that you're like so much wonderful. I'm just saying that connecting it to where this has happened, it happens to be these teams. And yesterday I had a kid he just might as well have been spearing the same kid on our team twice who plays like a scrappy little
Where's the
pit bull.
officials? Where's the officials?
The pit bull, the officials are like literally having to get, hey, here's your warning, or we're blowing the whistle and calling the foul. They're not letting the game get out of hand.
But it's multiple kids, multiple times. They're not going to, it's like there's ample opportunity for those things to happen without a kid getting like thrown out of the game at 8.
Yeah,
9.
exactly.
Yeah.
Shep had a kid like literally jump on top of him as he had the ball on the ground. Like a full blown, like you might as well have thought there was a mattress there. and Shep's pulling the ball trying to get possession, and this kid is like, oh, it's either break my arm or lose this ball. That's how I'm treating this, after he jumped on him on the ground. And so Shep was bigger, so he rolled, and the kid was like, well, if I roll, I'm not letting go of the ball. Well, leverage starts to take hold at that point. And as he rolls, his arm gets caught in it because he's just not letting go. Like, it's not about getting the ball anymore. It's about trying to inflict my tantrum on you. And what happens? The kid gets hurt of his own volition, and it turns it into this big crying storm off the court thing. And I'm sure it did hurt, but it was him throwing a tantrum that
wasn't
hurt
a basketball
himself.
move.
Yeah.
This must be a boy thing, because obviously my main exposure to this is volleyball with a little sprinkle of basketball and softball, and I've never seen anything to this level. But my friends that have little guys playing football, I've heard it, and you would be unsurprised to hear that the ones that have been known to do the things when they fall a little behind or a lot behind in 3rd or 4th grade, tackle football or whatever, are the little dragons with the green and white. So it's the same thing.
To be clear,
it's daddy ball, dude. This is the outcome of daddy ball.
To be clear,
period.
I'm very into these games. And as a parent, you might see the way I act from time to time, not consistently, but from time to time, and be like, well, that guy's way too into this. And I'm here to fully wear that. Okay. And I also don't expect like children to have their emotions fully regulated, but we're gonna like respect the game of it. You know what I'm saying? Like, we're not going to tarnish the game of it. And if I see you doing something, you're going to hear from me well before a ref has to step in. You know what I'm saying? And it just brings me to this, like, this simple refrain in youth sports. Why can't the parents just be cool?
Why is it so high stakes?
Why can't the parents just be cool? Cheer aggressively. Get on to your kid aggressively. But then when it comes time to, like, again, honor the game, I hate to sound like some old cliche boomer, but like, respect the game. He played in a volleyball end of season tournament yesterday as well, and it came down to the last game of the whole match. The playoff structure was, you get put in your division. They were put in the lower division because they didn't win that many games. It's double elimination, right? It's 1 15-minute game. You lose 2 of those, you're out of the playoffs. They won their first one. They won their second one. So they're straight to the championship. They're in the championship versus the team who lost once. If they lose again, it's over. They got to beat us twice before we beat them once. Get it? These games are all timed. If there's a 2-minute lead when like 10 seconds is left, they'll let the clock run. But if there's a 2-point lead, rather, with like 10 seconds left, they'll let the clock run out. And if you're winning by 2, you win the game. So what happens is the time management becomes very important at the end of these games. So hurry up and get the ball to the other side. We had the coach on the other side get the ball hit out of bounds by her own player right to her at a point where we need the ball hurried over to us.
Yeah, this happens all the time, dude. This happens all the time in volleyball for some reason.
I watched the coach hold the ball for like 5 seconds.
Yep.
A coach who knows what's going on, and then does the drop the ball, not roll the ball to the other side, drop the ball in the general direction of our team so that maybe momentum will carry it under the net, or maybe it'll just kind of sit there and the clock will run out and we'll get to go to overtime. Insane, bro, that you would be like, I'm going to take this from these majority 9-year-old girls and 1 boy on this team. This is how we're going to go ahead and navigate this game. That's insane to me. Secondly, she's telling her team to make noise while our kids are serving. so that it's tough for the kids to focus through. Thirdly, she gives one of her parents from across the court a heads up that our line judge, who's on their side of the court, is coaching all the way across the court his child. And as you're a volunteer line judge, you should not ever be coaching. The coaching is, hey, whatever the kid's name is, get ready, be aggressive.
So it's just being a normal parent. Okay, the noise during the serving. There's a parent of a girl on Maya's club team that used to coach volleyball, and she was telling us last week that at the level they're in right now, which is, I guess, they're all like 11. I don't know. Technically that's against the rules, and it happens in the rec league over here in Roanoke all the time. There was one team, Maya's rec team was playing this last, however long ago they last played, I guess in the fall. Anytime a girl would toss the ball, the whole team would go ball up, and in that little rec level, you can toss the ball 100 times before you hit it. Doesn't matter. So this one girl, Kate, who's just like has the most hilarious facial expressions of all time, she starts getting pissed. So she just tossed the ball like 6 times with knowing she wasn't even going to serve it, just to make them say it's obnoxious. It's just
that's what it is. It's obnoxious. It's to me, it's not like the game. The game is the joy of it, y'all.
Yeah,
we get to come out. We get to come out today and we get to figure out at the end of this thing, if you have more points, you were better today than I was today. If I have more points than and all this other trash. It's like these parents want to teach these kids you're entitled to the win. And because you're entitled to the win, we get to do whatever and act however we want and behave in whatever way we want, because this isn't real life. This is the game, and you deserve the game. You deserve the win in this game. So we will get to behave in whatever way we deem necessary to get the win. And I just think it's the grossest thing we do in youth sports, while also recognizing that I take this very seriously and I'm very competitive and I'm loud, but I'd still feel like I honor the game of it. Like my son Shep noticed very early on, Dad, why do you encourage the other team so much? He noticed that at a very young age. And I think it's wholly ridiculous that we're not both out there to encourage me and the other coach, that we're not both out there to encourage the other team the whole way through, even if I'm getting crapped on. If I see a good play, I see a good play. 23's running down the court in front of me. He just made a good play. Hey, man, nice shot, 23. It's insane to me that we don't all have that approach.
It's too high stakes for people, and I don't understand why. But again, that's just, I mean, you could have this conversation any era, any generation. There's always these people that are like this. We just see more of it now because there's just more. There's more seasons, more games, more sports, more ways for people to talk about it. They've got their social medias. They've got their group chats. They've got, all this stuff. There's just more of everything all the time, just to continue to amplify all this mess. And I don't know, dude. I'm not. I don't say much during volleyball. I don't say much. Courtney sometimes starts acting like she used to at like the Western Conference Finals or something, and I'm like, hey, it's cool. It's chill out. But I stay pretty quiet. And after you share what you're going to share with us, I'll tell you guys the one reason I do get a little vocal.
Last week, yeah, of course, I know you're up against it. You've really just been carrying us here this last 40 minutes. Last week,
unbelievable.
Don't shake your head at me. The people.
What do you want me to do? Jump in and break up your story? I was letting you go. You told me you want more airtime. You said you're going to quit the show if you don't get more airtime.
Talking into the mic.
I was letting you go. I was listening.
Now everybody froze.
We lost him, Jase.
Good.
So these volleyball tournaments, we don't know when he's going to come back. So these volleyball tournaments that we've been going to, I mean, this is club, but this isn't like prestige stuff. I mean, you got to pay a good chunk of money to be in it, but like it's all local. It's all Dallas Fort Worth area. There's not a bunch of travel and whatever. But I mean, it's competitive. It's intense. Everybody there is like practicing 2 or 3 times a week and playing a tournament all day. And it's, it's a little bit level up, a bunch of, probably 4th, 5th, and 6th graders mainly in the ones we're at. And the way it's set up is you've got, 6 courts going all at once, all day long. Everybody's playing. And so if you're not playing, you're probably helping to officiate or keep score, the kids, right?
Yeah.
So every one of these games, they'll have a kid being a line judge or 2, I guess 1 on each end of the court. And then they'll have 2 kids and an adult at the scorer's table. And one of the kids is running the little scorebook for volleyball. And there's always an adult right there beside her. And then there's usually another girl keeping score, like not like actually managing the scoreboard, like just flipping the numbers. And guys, these wonderful young ladies whose job it is to simply see who won the point.
I agree.
And add a number.
Yeah.
70% of them.
I know.
Cannot fucking
pisses me off too because
do it. And I get it. They're 10, 11. They're there with their friends. They're sitting there with their friend or their teammate, and they're there all day, and they're all hopped up on snacks and Prime Water and Gatorade Zero, and they're kids. But there's always an adult there beside them. Can we not just look at the fucking score and make sure it's right? Just because
it's your one job.
Yeah. I don't care about win or lose. I really don't care about win or lose. This is all about reps. But
yeah,
I want the girls to learn how to play with awareness of the score.
Yeah.
And it's not hard. It literally, every point, someone gets a point and the score changes. You got to change it every time. And even with 2 kids and an adult there, they 60-70% of the time they screw it up at some point during the match. And I will, after about the 4th time, I will finally say something. Now we've got some moms that'll say something before I feel like I need to. So
immediately
I don't have to, but I will occasionally have to be like a little more vocal about it because it pisses me off. And there was one about a month ago where not only was there, the 2 players and then the adult, which is usually like one of the coaches, like an assistant coach is usually doing that with them. It was a game that Maya was playing in. There was somebody's dad right there standing beside them. He saw that the girl that was flipping the score was having a very hard time keeping up with it. He stood beside her the whole game. And Maya's club is named Pono. The other club was named Fire. And he would literally say, Fire got a point. Pono got a point. Fire got a point. After everyone to help her. 3rd set, I hear her say to him, which one's Fire?
I lost my shit.
We've had multiple. The people keeping the score part of our game, not the book. The score part. The book is always a volunteer parent. The score part is a paid employee. And multiple games, somebody's looking at their phone. Somebody didn't pay attention to the scoreboard.
The whole fucking world needs Adderall. All right,
zoning off into space.
This technology has ruined the human brain. Okay, people can't pay attention to shit.
It's all too much. I was going to say last week we were in a tightly contested game where I explained to y'all we had a comeback, and we had the ball last possession of the game. And the rules for the young kids, it's like a governed version of the game. It's not like the way you would play a high school or an NBA game, right?
It's tailored to yield the most value for the age group.
So in this third grade league, there's no defense in the backcourt because they don't want to have press. Like, you don't have enough ball handling presence to be dealing with the press. So the other team calls a timeout on a dead ball. It's our ball, but it's a dead ball, right? So they call their timeout. Fine. It's a 2-point game, 3-point game. I don't remember. 1 possession game, call it, okay? Out of the timeout, we have to go the length of the court. What's he tell his kids to do? He just tells 2 kids to go run at the ball handler in the backcourt and just play a full court defense. And the ref just goes, run the time. There was like 9 seconds left. He was like, run the time, game over. And I'm looking at him like, dude, what are you doing? And the ref goes, run the time, game over. No defense in the backcourt. Like, we're just gonna call it like.
But is there a 10-second runoff for that penalty? Like,
no,
were you
the ref
bending
was
the
like,
rules?
the ref was like, I'm not calling the hey, you go run or hey, you guys gotta back up. We're gonna stop the clock so this is done correctly. He looked at the guy like, why are you running the press back here? And the
He just
guy's
said,
response,
F you, game over.
yeah, the guy's response was, I was gonna make you call it. Like, that was gonna prolong the game. Like, maybe if they got the turnover and maybe if they went to shoot the layup and make it a tie game in the last 9 seconds, he was gonna make the ref call it. So the ref was just like, I would never think to just violate the game. Like, what are we doing?
Daddy
What are
ball.
we-
These guys need hobbies.
What are we doing?
Brad, Jase, Rylan.
Jase, how you think it went today?
Terrible.
Man.
I want you done by 59 minutes from now on.
Why can't
Listen,
you ever just...
I've done the research. They said that people past 1 hour, they check out. If we ever want to get famous, you have got to be done by 59 minutes. I don't want to do my job for the rest of my life. I have to be a podcaster. This isn't just fun for me. This is my retirement plan. I've spent every dollar I have gambling at WinStar. There is no 401k. Do you understand?
I want to hear you, but I also have never seen you put in almost an ounce of effort to promote this thing.
But you're supposed to do that. You're supposed to use all the connections you have. Get us on the ticket, dude.
How do I have a connection to the ticket?
I don't know.
You don't want to be on there.
Hey, Bob, can you get us
Tell
on
you
the
what to
ticket?
say.
Can you get us on the ticket? Let me text him real quick. Hey, Bob, how do we get the Human Dads podcast led by Jason looking at his phone on the ticket? Next time I throw it to you, just say some nice things about the show, damn it. Brad for Island for Jason. Lake dump Jason. Remember that? Took a dump in the lake, Rylan, told us all about it, and then acted like the biggest.
It's not
Like, that
not
never
a fact.
happened.
No one. That is a 100% lie that I'll be suing you for.
Lake dump Jace, old Patty's Jace,
I'm gonna sue you.
old Jellyback Jace,
Take every dollar
Old
you
flap
have.
sack.
old Flapsack Jace. For Brad for Island for Jace. Tell your mom to listen. Bring the bread. Mix in a tortilla. Climb the ladder. Put a bow on it. Freeze your hot dog. Go to Arby's. Let it run down your leg. Keep it tight. Holler at you next time. Episode 260. And we're
Now
out.
you find a side hot dog.
Oh,
side
side
order.
hot dog. Side hot
Yeah.
dog.
Order a
Get
side
inside.
hot dog.
Hey,
Get the hot
don't-
dog on the side.
don't let the side hot dog and the frozen hot dog be the same hot dog, okay?
No, keep them. There's a very clear wall. Keep those separate.
Separate your side hot dog and your frozen hot dog like a bicameral legislation, okay? Like, we can't. They got to be on opposite sides there.
What's wrong with you?
By camera. 7th grade social studies coming out here.
What's wrong with you?
A
March
lot?
7th, good friend burger bar. Beer garden. Burger beer
Okay.
garden bar. whatever it's
Yeah, we're
called.
gonna get a sandwich. We're gonna get a burger and some beer,
Hot dog on the side.
some pizza, and a hot dog on the side. That's right.
Next time.
Next time. What do you
stream.
mean? We said merch. Okay.
No,